What's up, guys? This is Anime Crossover. I'm back with another episode of What If Naruto Can Summon Legendary Pokemons Part 4. And if you did enjoy this video, give this video a like, and if you're new to my channel and like my content, subscribe and hit that notification bell for more crossover fictions with a twist. Now let's begin this new video.
Chapter 11 Naruto's journey back home was becoming increasingly tedious. This was because even if he was traveling with two of the most powerful ninja alive currently, he had little to no respect for either of them. He knew why Jiraiya had brought him along, and to be honest, it didn't bother him because he got a good new jutsu out of it, but the man didn't seem particularly important or interesting to Naruto. Even if Tsunade had changed her ways, it would be a long time before Naruto saw her as the Hokage. He'd seen more than enough of them in that first night. And while it was simple to lose his respect for you, regaining it took time. Tsunade's apprentice was semi-interesting, but the things she liked or talked about were not things Naruto was particularly interested in. So, aside from talking to Kyuubi, he had no one to talk to and nothing to focus on as they returned. That is, until they arrived in a town 2 days' walk from Leaf Village. Jiraiya had taken Naruto out of town for some training after ensuring they had a place to stay for the night. Jiraiya pulled out a crystal and tossed it to Naruto as they came to a halt in a large unused field. "Here you go, kid. 1 chakra gem is promised. It can hold more than what you asked for, but I think you earned it," Jiraiya said as Naruto examined the stone. To be honest, it appeared to be a regular stone. This one was shiny, smooth, egg-shaped stone green in color. Naruto pushed a chakra into it and discovered that with a little effort, he could pull it right out. Before looking at Jiraiya, Naruto smiled happily and pocketed the stone. "Thank you very much. I am very grateful." "Think nothing of it, kid. You beat her down and, I believe, broke that shell of her sadness she had on for the longest time," Jiraiya said, looking out over the field before returning to Naruto. "So what was the real reason for bringing me out here? If you were just giving me the stone, I know you would have just gave it to me at the hotel where it could fill it. Rather than out here," Naruto said before sitting down in the grass. "The real reason is that I've been thinking about your fighting style, which is lacking in my opinion. As much as a defensive style helps you, it's not a perfect style," Jiraiya said, looking at Naruto. "You make it appear as if my summons and transformations are easily defeated," Naruto said. "No, they are not, but it is possible to make them useless to you. You may not realize it, but there are seals out there, quite common in fact for most Chuunin units, which stop all summoning in a 300-yard range. And these seals, while they cannot stop current summons that are out, can cause a great deal of problems if your summons are destroyed and your transformation abilities are not powerful enough to fully take on the group," Jiraiya said, explaining. "I see what you mean there. If a Chuunin squad or even a Chuunin squad were to catch me with one of those seals, I might be forced to retreat even with my transformations and clones," Naruto said after a brief moment of thought. "No, you would only have your transformation abilities. The seals are made to stop any form of jutsu that would bring another creature on the field that can think for itself in some shape, form or fashion, so summons, clone, and a select few jutsu are all blocked," Jiraiya explained again. Naruto nodded, lying down on the soft grass, his eyes closed, as he considered this. He may not have told anyone, but the forms he took were far less powerful than his summons. That was because he had to learn all of the skills his summons possessed naturally, and even with clones, he still had a lot to learn. Only 100 of his forms had he truly mastered. Though he knew everything he could about his first 234 summons and was nearly finished mastering them while still summoned. As he sat back up, Naruto opened his eyes again and looked at Jiraiya. "You are right in this idea. But my question is how we are going to fix it so I am not so lacking in combat skills. In short, I'm thinking it might be a good idea for you to take up a kenjutsu style I know of that fits your fighting style, though we'll need a weapon I haven't seen truly used in a long time," Jiraiya reflected. "Oh, please tell me more," Naruto said, not paying attention. "To be honest, it's one of the weaker styles out there, but that's because its true power was never fully realized," Jiraiya smirked. "It's also one of the few things that would allow you to get around that seal we discussed not long ago." "Oh, and how is that?" Naruto said. "It would be a way to create things and creatures with things already on the battlefield," Jiraiya explained. "Okay, so how does it fit my style?" Naruto asked. "Your entire style is about keeping you safe while the clones and summons take down your enemy. Now that we know the strengths and weaknesses of this, the style I will work with you on will allow your style to become offensive as well if needed," or at least keep you safe until the seal is destroyed or you can get out of its range. It uses a large paintbrush and any fluid around you to create art that can battle for you. What do you mean by that? Naruto wondered. In short, think of it as drawing a person in the middle of the sky and making him fight for you, Jiraiya explained simply. Naruto's eyes widened as he considered the vast array of possibilities. He could possibly create anything using only a fluid. Even if they weren't particularly powerful, there was still a lot he could do with them. He immediately stood up and asked, "Where can I learn this?" "I'll have to find some things in the village because the clan that originally did it has died out, and only a kid from the brother clan remains, and he lacks the skills needed to use this style," Jiraiya explained, adding another item to the list of things he needed to work with Naruto on. This was now in line with what was going on with Itachi. "I see, so what's the cost of me learning this style?" Naruto wondered, remembering that nothing was ever free. "As I previously stated, I want you to be my apprentice, and since you never agreed to that, that is one requirement. The other is assistance in covering my spy network. My spy network has now grown very large, and it is difficult for me to check all contacts I have in any nation, let alone all contacts in this one," Jiraiya explained. "So, in short, you want me to become the spy master for the Leaf Village because my skill with clones and transformations could allow me to get in anywhere and out again," Naruto speculated. "Basically yes, though you would still need some training past that and other skills as well, but still overall correct," Jiraiya said, thinking over yet more things he would need to teach Naruto. "I guess I'll do it. Besides, being a student to a Sannin will help me on my way to becoming Hokage. Though it still sounds like I'm getting the better end of the deal here," Naruto said, looking over at Jiraiya. "In a way, you are. Don't forget that we try to make each generation stronger than the last, though there are ninja out there who will still be considered stronger than any ninja out there no matter how much time has passed since then," Jiraiya explained. "Oh, I see. Well, I guess I'll try to reach the same level as the 4th or 3rd Hokage did, though hopefully not die of old age," Naruto chuckled to Jiraiya. "That is always the goal in the end for students mostly. Survive while still making a name that will last for years to come. Though let me tell you, surviving is among the hardest things to do for the ninja," said Jiraiya, now lost in thought. Naruto decided that since he was not going to say anything for a while, it was time to return to the hotel. Jiraiya noticed this but said nothing because his conversation had brought him back to all the friends he had lost due to war or other such things. To be honest, only a few of them could have survived what they were sent to deal with. Even his sensei, who was thought to be the oldest ninja alive at the time, died in a battle. But he realized that his sensei, like many others who had died defending their loved ones and team. Looking back to where Naruto had been, he couldn't help but think he might be one of the few to make it to retirement. If not, he would be the one to die in a truly epic battle. Naruto couldn't help but be annoyed as he swung the brush for the 1000th time. He had mastered every form and basic move of the style since beginning training over a month ago, but he had one minor issue. He hadn't yet created anything tangible. Jiraiya had done his best to assist him, but it was still more difficult to learn than anything else he had attempted. Naruto sighed as she sat the nearly as tall as himself brush down and examined it closely. Inside the handle, which was about a hand's width wide, was ink used to create the style painting, though any liquid could be used. Naruto's issue was getting the ink to move out of the brushing tip and then stay in the air. He could then control the art as he would a water-based just you. Naruto realized his problem at this point. He had never used any water-based jetsu before, aside from his hidden mist jetsu. That is, he did not fully control the water, or in this case, ink, as he should have. With the main issue identified, he decided he needed to find someone who was more knowledgeable about using water-based jetsu. The only issue was that the only person he was certain could use them was Kakashi. Sighing, he decided he might as well ask. After all, there was no harm in asking just once. So he stood up, strapped the brush to his back, and set out to find Kakashi. As he jumped from roof to roof, his mind wandered to what had happened on his most recent mission. Sakura, Sasuke, who had just been released from the hospital, and himself were sent on a bodyguard mission. Their job was to protect the racer during the race so that his chances of winning were not thwarted by unfriendly groups. The race had been relatively easy until they encountered some ninja about halfway through the first section. It did not take long for Naruto to beat them thanks to the fact the first part of the journey was by water. Nonetheless, the boat they were on was destroyed. Naruto was once again forced to summon another Pokemon in order to get them to the island. When they arrived at the island, they rested for a while because a storm was gaining strength around them, making them tired from trying to stay on. As he noticed Sasuke leaving the hospital, his thoughts raced through the mission. The rest of the trip had been simple till they had reached a bridge that they had to cross. They got the racer across with Sakura guarding him, but Naruto and Sasuke had to stay behind to keep an oncoming ninja at bay. Sasuke had been injured during the fight while attempting to destroy the ninja's weapon. Though he had not been full successful, it had damaged it a little bit. Naruto was then able to destroy it using a combination of his Rasengan and summoning abilities. After that, he was able to finish quickly and knock out the ninja. Leaving a clone to keep an eye on thing he had then left to help Sakura in case she needed it. He arrived at the finish line after the race had ended, but thankfully the racer they were guarding had won, and the group that had hired the other racer was then disbanded for how they had been conducting themselves during the race. They had gone home not long after that, though Sasuke was less than pleased with the events. From his point of view, not only had Naruto defeated a Jonin by himself, but he had also had take on a team of ninja as well, even if they were only genin. While Naruto had been lucky in defeating the genin, he had been even luckier in defeating the Jonin, and that was only because of Sasuke's skills. Naruto came to a halt and gazed at Sasuke for a few moments. Even from this distance Naruto could tell Sasuke was mad, or at least madder than normal. He would have stood there watching him for a few moments until he noticed Kakashi standing on a nearby rooftop. He dashed over to it before coming to a halt near Kakashi. "Naruto, what are you doing here today?" Kakashi asked, turning to face him. "I'm looking for you, Kakashi. I need a little help with a new skill I'm working on," Naruto said carefully, looking at Kakashi. "Oh, and what might that be?" Kakashi asked, tilting his head slightly. "My style uses water or ink to make things battle for me, but the problem is that I cannot make the water and ink come off the brush I am using to make this happen," Naruto explained. "Normally, I would go to Jiraiya to ask, but he has never used a water jutsu that I have seen yet, and since you have used one, I figured you might be able to help me. I see your problem is interesting, but to be honest, I'm not sure how much I can truly help you. The only reason I can use water-based jutsu is because of my eye and that alone," Kakashi explained. "Wait, how does that work? I know you cover your idea so no one can see it, but how does that stop you from using water jutsu?" Naruto blinked a few times. "In short, Naruto, this headband I use has a few seals carved into it, and while it's down, my covered eyes are sealed and shut off, meaning that while I'd learn a jutsu with this eye, it wouldn't be fully placed in my memory until I used it about 20 times, Kakashi said, rubbing the back of his head. "I thought the Sharingan eye was more powerful than that," Naruto said, looking slightly down at Kakashi, not being able to help as much as he would have liked. "It is in a full-blood Uchiha. If they reach the level 1 Amet, they can learn how to use a jutsu in an instant, though the cost or risks of using it are still unknown to them. They can also see a person move before they are made if they can keep eye contact," Kakashi explained. "Oh, I see," Naruto explained. Itachi had told him some of this, as well as some of the special abilities that the eye possessed, but Naruto decided it would be best not to tell Kakashi. "Alright, since I can't really help you, is there anything else I can do for you?" Kakashi asked. "Not unless you know another ninja who can use water-based jutsu or who can teach me how to control water," Naruto stated. "I can't think of any off the top of my head, but if you check the library, I'm sure you'll find what you need," Kakashi said, giving Naruto an eye smile. Naruto had to fight the urge to punch Kakashi in the face at this point. He could tell he was lying, and it didn't take a master to figure it out. For one thing, Naruto was almost certain that Guy could use water-based jutsu, and he knew that there were a few Chuunin and a good number of Jonin in the village who could, though none of them he actually had met yet. He decided that going to the library was the best option now that Kakashi was not being helpful. He quickly said his goodbyes and walked away. He didn't notice Kakashi's face had developed a slight frown after he left. He had no desire to assist Naruto or anyone else on his team. He was currently training Sasuke solely on council orders, and even then he disliked it. He hadn't lied to Guy about not liking training Sasuke, but he had lied about wanting to train anyone else. He sighed and returned his attention to his current job. Making certain that Sasuke never left the village for any reason, he couldn't help but feel that the previous mission, combined with Sasuke's temperament, were not working out. Sighing, he began following Sasuke through the rooftops, taking care not to be seen. As they made it to what remained of the Uchiha district, Kakashi could not help but feel his life was going to be changing soon. Naruto yawned and looked over at Tsunade. He had been summoned to her new office at 5 a.m. He hoped it was for a good reason and not some sort of punishment mission that he knew she was coming up with ever since that had made their way back to the village. But as she sighed, looking as tired as he was, he realized this was not the case. "Lady Hokage, might I ask why I am here?" Naruto asked after a small yawn escaped his mouth. "I will respond in a few moments, we are waiting for Shikamaru," Tsunade said, annoyed. This immediately alerted Naruto to the fact that something was seriously wrong. While yes, she was annoyed, it was not at him at the moment since Shikamaru was showing up. She told him that when the time came to get him back, it would be just the two of them. Naruto sighed and nodded, waiting for Shikamaru to enter the room. Shikamaru was thrown into the room by a female who told him to do his job. Shikamaru stood up slowly, dusting himself off, as the door to the office slammed behind him. He looked at them and shook his head. "Sorry about that. My mom was also woken up and decided I wasn't moving fast enough and well, yeah." Tsunade simply nodded, "No worries. Now as to why I called you here, it appears last night one of our ninja left the village, whether of his own free will or because he was taken, we do not know at the moment. Your mission is to find and return Sasuke Uchiha to the village with any and all force. Should he have left willingly, you are to use deadly force if necessary." Shikamaru nodded, slightly surprised. "Yes, Hokage-sama." Naruto remained silent for a few moments before nodding. "Yes, I will do what is required, but I am curious why we are doing this. Currently, all other higher-level ninja are out on missions, and I cannot spare any more from the guards on duty," Tsunade said, receiving a nod from both of them. "Good now Shikamaru, you have a half hour before you are to leave. Use what time you have to find a group to help you. Meet at the front gate once you are ready to leave as I need to speak with Naruto first." Shikamaru and Naruto both nodded. Shikamaru then turned and exited the room, leaving Naruto and Tsunade behind. Naruto turned to face Tsunade, who studied him for a few moments before speaking. "Naruto, I would not normally send you on a mission like this where you might have to kill your own teammate, so just once, do you have it in you to kill Sasuke if necessary?" Naruto sighed to himself, which Tsunade noticed. "To be honest, I'm not entirely sure I could take his life if it came down to a battle," he said after a few moments. "Even if he was intending to kill you?" Tsunade inquired. "What? Remember, if Sasuke left on his own accord, it's possible he'd be willing to kill his old comrades," Tsunade said, drawing a slight scoff from Naruto. She paused for a few moments as Naruto considered what she had said. "Okay, I guess you have a point," Naruto said mostly to himself. "Good. So, if Sasuke came at you ready to kill you, do you have what it takes to possibly end him?" Tsunade inquired once more. "I'm still not sure. That if that happens, I'll do everything I can to stop him. If he dies because of the battle, it'll be because he forced me into it," Naruto said, his eyes hardening slightly with a resigned expression. "Alright, I'll mark this down in case that council tries something. I wish you the best of luck. Now you'd better catch up with Shikamaru at the main gate," Tsunade said, yawning slightly despite the situation. Naruto nodded. "Yes Tsunade-sama." As Naruto walked away, Tsunade smiled briefly before turning to the clock and sighing. "I wonder if I can punish someone for waking me up before I want to be." Naruto rushed along the rooftops until he arrived at the gate where he would meet Shikamaru and his team. He sat by the gate, waiting, because no one was there, as he heard Kyuubi speak up in his mind. "Are you certain you can fight on this mission, Naruto? You know any hesitation will almost certainly result in your death," Kyuubi asked lightly. "Yes, I can handle it," Naruto said as he drew his painting brush from the ceiling scroll. "Even if it means killing the Uchiha?" Kyuubi inquired. "Like I promised Tsunade, I will do what needs to be done," Naruto said as he looked out over the houses. "Good. Now put that scroll away because you are not yet good enough with that style to truly use it against anyone," Kyuubi said, causing Naruto to roll his eyes. "Yes, I know, I was just thinking about keeping it ready as a surprise maneuver," Naruto smirked. "That is, you would pull it out and use it as a club," Kyuubi explained, causing Naruto to nearly face-plant even while standing still. "No, I would not, I would use it as I should," Naruto replied. "I'll believe it when I see it," Kyuubi said, a smirk in his voice audible to Naruto. Shikamaru arrived with the team behind him, and Naruto quickly looked over Kiba, Neji, and Choji. He couldn't help but sigh inwardly because there were so few of them, but he wasn't about to question Shikamaru because they didn't have a lot of time to find a good team. Turning toward Shikamaru, he nodded before putting the scroll away. "Does this include everyone?" Naruto inquired. "Everyone I could find on short notice, yes. I would have brought Shino as well, but he is currently out of town with his father," Shikamaru explained. "Okay, and you've told them about our mission?" Naruto inquired again, receiving a nod from Shikamaru. "Alright, now the plan is simple until we reach the enemy. Kiba, I want you to go with Naruto. This will enable us to keep track of them. Choye and I will play center support. While Neji takes the lead, I want you to keep an eye out for traps and anyone trying to close in on us. The distance between us should only be about 10 to 20 feet between spots." Shikamaru explained how the group would travel. The group all nodded in agreement, though none of them said yes sir for various reasons. Naruto then spoke up, "Good, let's go." They did not speak, only nodded as they took off out of the gate. They moved as quickly as they dared, not wanting to use up too much energy too soon, and still feeling a little sleepy because it was still early in the morning. As they moved they came across a small semi-wounded team of Chuunin ninja. And what if Sasuke Uchiha was among them? "Yes," said the female in the group. "Not long ago, we encountered and fought 4 Sound Village ninja. No, Sasuke wasn't there, but they did have a large barrel with seals all over it." "Thanks Shizune-san," Naruto said when he realized who was speaking. "Welcome. Now we must go. The team we faced while injured by our attacks hurt my own teammates as well, and I need to get them some better treatment soon," Shizune said before leaving to assist her team. Shikamaru sighed, "Team, move out and keep an eye out for traps. If it was the Sound team who kidnapped Sasuke, they'll be on the lookout now." "Understand," came the reply before they quickly moved out, Kiba leading, following the scent that they had found earlier of Sasuke and some other people. They moved along for a while before both Neji, who was watching the road held, said they were getting close to the group. 3 males and 1 female are resting a short distance ahead. They are currently talking while resting in a circle against the trees. There is a large barrel in the center of the group that is radiating charka, Neji explained before drawing a semi-circle around the group.
"I'm guessing something is in their way," Kiba said, looking at the semicircle.
"Yes, though I'm not sure what it is at this distance, but I'd guess some sort of detection system," Neji said as he briefly deactivated his eyes. Naruto looked over at Shikamaru before back down at the drawing. "I think there is a way to attack them, but we cannot go head on. We would be catched too easy. Right now, I believe we can rule Sasuke out of this fight. Stay away from the barrel for the time being until we learn more." Shikamaru nodded before speaking himself. "No, we want to trip the alert this time. Naruto, I want you to attack from the other side while the team and I move in. We could possibly overpower this group with your summons before they can properly counterattack when I set off their alarm. What do you need or want to hit them with?" Naruto nodded. "Well, tell me what you have, and I'll tell you what we need," Shikamaru smirked. "I apologize for the delay. However, I have been dealing with a number of problems. The first is a lack of motivation to write. The second piece. The final one was a virus that infected my computer. I'll try to pick up the pace again, but I can't promise anything." While they had gotten the jump on Naruto's group at first, they had destroyed Naruto's summons before they had a chance to make themselves useful. It did not take long after this for Naruto's group's attack to be repelled. But the group did not stay around long to finish them off as one of their team ran through some hand signs forming a large box over the group. It was not a large drain on the group, but it would not be long before they began to feel weaker. Akamaru Kiba's dog was also at risk because he had less chakra than any of them and could possibly be killed if they did not get out soon. Neji then used his eyes to find a weak point in the large stone box, but Naruto shook his head and told them to back up. The Sound ninja outside noticed something strange was going on, as the charka that should have been entering his body had stopped completely. Quickly ending the jutsu, he made the box form back into the ground so he could make the killing strike, but all he saw was a large hole in the ground. He was surprised at this and immediately on guard for an attack, but what happened he did not expect: a huge snake made of rock crashing up thr. But happen it did, and sent him flying high into the air. Then as he started to come down, a hail of kunai came flying rapidly toward him. He did not have much of a chance to do anything as he activated his own true defense against this attack. He went into activated the curse seal, bring it up to level 2. It saved him as the kunai were thrown back from the force of the charca wave that came off him. But he still had two major problems, first where the leaf ninja were in. But his worries were put to rest when Neji appeared behind him without making a sound, and delivered a powerful palm strike to the back of his neck and head. The effects were instant as the chakra stopped following to his head, and his brain was destroyed from the strikes. Neji jumped down as another flash of light filled the area, and Naruto stood where the rock snake once was. Kiba and Shikamaru emerged from the hole, while Choji emerged from the tree where he had thrown Neji. Neji then performed a quick check on the ninja and, finding him truly dead, nodded, "He is down and out." "Okay, let's get moving. Neji, you take center spot this time since they might be expecting us. I want you looking for anything that'd be a trap," Shikamaru said as the group moved out. It did not take them long to find the group, and like before, there were no traps, just a weird webbing system was made to alert the group to anyone. Shikamaru sighed as a good was away. "Well, we got lucky, but I'm not sure how long our luck will last. We need to get rid of the group as soon as possible." "Well, we can't take them out with my bird summons, as you saw. That was a terrible fail," Naruto grumbled. "Well, you could charge back into the group as that rock monster," Kiba proposed. "Perhaps, but the moment they figure out what my weakness is, that idea is doomed," Naruto said. "How could they figure out your weakness?" Kiba inquired, perplexed. "Earth loses to water in Justu, and my change is the same," Naruto deadpanned. "It would also spread the group out, which would normally be a good thing. If the last guy is any indication, I believe these three remaining are used to fighting alone," Shikamaru said, taking a strange stance and beginning to think, as the others watched and Neji kept his gaze on the group. "Naruto, how long can your clones take that form?" He smirked as he stepped out of the stance. "About an hour if necessary," Naruto shrugged. "All right, it's time to herd those ninja to where we want them. This is what I want you and your clones to do, Naruto." Not only did the sound ninja have to dodge these strange rock snakes that kept coming at them, seemingly out of nowhere, but the attacks had now continued for nearly an hour, forcing them to expend much of the little energy they had left. Their only real hope was that the process that Sasuke was affected by would be finished soon, or else they would have to use their curse marks to save themselves and elude capture. As the creatures vanished yet again, they fell to the ground panting heavily.